Oh, hello there. Fancy seeing you here on YouTube. I can't believe it. Hello. How is your afternoon or morning or maybe evening? How is it going at the moment? I hope it is going super duper. Here we are then. It is another English Addict live stream from the birthplace of the English language, which just happens to be England. Yes, I know what you are going to say. You are going to say, Mr. Duncan, you are late again. Why are you late? I hope you have a good reason why you are late. Okay, I have a very good reason. I was running around preparing today's live stream. That is my reason, and I am sticking to it. Here we go then. Yes, look. It is 13 minutes past 2 o'clock, and I'm here once again. As I always say, hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, I hope you are feeling happy, because I'm feeling alright today. Not too bad. I can't complain, even though I want to complain, but I can't, because I don't think you want to hear me complain, to be honest. Here we are then, once again, live as live can be. Lots of things going on in the garden at the moment. Yesterday, some of the blackbirds that are being taken care of, they fledged. They flew from their nests yesterday, so there is a lot of things going on here in the garden right now. Many things happening all around me at the moment, in fact. So a very busy period of time here in the garden. I hope you are feeling good. And for those who don't know who I am, maybe you are thinking, we don't know who you are. Who are you, you strange man? My name's Mr. Duncan. I teach English on YouTube, and I've been doing this for ever such a long time. Many years, in fact. And here I am today doing it again. So my name's Duncan, I teach English, and I talk all about the English language. However, I am a little different from other English teachers. As I always say, I am the person who all of the popular English teachers on YouTube come to get their ideas. That's what I like to say. Whether it's true or not, it's up to you, really, if you believe it. Hello to the live chat. Oh, lots of people are here today. Thank you very much for joining me. For those who want to join in, I am with you every week. Don't forget, you can catch me live on YouTube every week from 2 p.m. UK time on Sunday. That's this particular day. Also Wednesday and Friday as well. Live 3 times. Mr. Duncan, we can't believe it. You are on 3 times a week. It's true. It's true. So that is when you can catch me here on YouTube. We are outside. You can see we are in the garden once again. I'm feeling very confident that there is no rain. There was a lot of sunshine earlier, but unfortunately the sun has decided to go in, which isn't very nice. Hello to the live chat, as I said. Nice to see you here today, which just happens to be Sunday. Yes, we are all here together again. Nice to see you. Very nice today. Yes, lovely. Ooh, such a busy morning. I can't begin to tell you how busy I've been this morning, doing all sorts of things. I got up early. I did. I got up very early this morning. However, it would appear that the day, as usual, went by very quickly, and suddenly, before I knew what was happening, I was standing here in front of you talking on the internet, like now, for example. So that is what we are doing today. We are, of course, looking at the English language, lots of things to look at. Also, I have something nice to show you later on. We have some cows at the back of the house, some very young cows, and they came into the field at the back of the house about 10 days ago. However, yesterday they decided to come over. They came over to say hello for real. So yesterday we had our formal introduction to the cattle at the back of the house, and of course we recorded it on video as well, and we will be having a look at that a little bit later on. Today we are talking about things that are broken, things that no longer work, maybe things that used to work but now they don't, maybe something that is broken or has been smashed. Words that we can use to describe those events when something has been broken, something has been destroyed. Because behind me, you might not be able to see properly, but behind me there is Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow. Can you see Steve's wheelbarrow? Unfortunately, at the moment, Steve's wheelbarrow is not feeling very well. It's broken. Steve will be here later on to tell us all about that. Another thing as well. I'm enjoying the wind today. For some reason it's very windy. I wasn't expecting it to be quite as windy as this, but it is. Another thing today, how is Mr. Steve's grass growing? Is it still growing, or have the blackbirds eaten it all? So for the past couple of weeks, Steve has been growing some new grass in the garden. Last week we looked at it. Today we are going to look at it again, and Mr. Steve will be here in the garden. For those wondering where he is, well, he's in the house at the moment. However, very soon he will be actually there in that chair. So that is where Mr. Steve will be in a little while. Ooh. And did you see I gave you a little glimpse of the grass as well? Did you see that? For a moment there we all saw Mr. Steve's new grass. We went into town yesterday, and I was a little horrified. Just slightly. I was a little horrified at what I saw. The town was very busy. There were many people all over the place, which, to be honest with you, I was a little nervous about. When I arrived in town, because we went into town yesterday to pick a little bit of shopping, nothing too big, just a little bit of shopping. Also, I bought a little treat for me as well. Can you guess what it is? What treat did I buy for myself yesterday? I'm sure you can guess. I'm pretty sure you will know what my treat is. So I was very surprised, very shocked to see just how busy the town was. It would appear that everyone has just suddenly decided to go out. Whether it's right or wrong remains to be seen. We will find out in the near future. Oh, I shouldn't forget the live chat. Hello to the live chat. Thank you very much for joining me today. Oh, hello to Luis Mendez. Guess what? You are first on today's live chat. And yes, you are first. It's been a long time since Luis has been first on the live chat. So an extra special, extra loud round of applause for you. Mr. Steve was a bit worried today. Normally before we start our live streams we have to do a camera test just to make sure all of the equipment is working properly. Even though the other day, did you see what happened the other day? Something very strange happened to my camera. This is what happened the other day. Very strange. I don't know what was going on. So that was the beginning of Friday's live stream, and something very strange happened to my camera on Friday. However, I am pleased to report that all of my equipment is working well today. It is working all right, thank goodness. I don't know what was happening on Friday. One of my cameras decided not to work properly. Anyway, we decided to do a little camera test, Mr. Steve and myself. And then Steve says, what happened to my face? My face looks awful on the camera. And I reassured Steve that it is only the camera that is making it look strange. When it comes out of the computer, it will look all lovely. So we will see what happens there. So Steve will be with us, and he is feeling much better. Thank you very much. Vitas is here. You are second on today's live chat. It would appear that Luis Mendez has very fast fingers. I think so. Hello, Francesca. Hi, guys. Martha is here today. It is a sad, sad time because Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow is broken. We will find out all about that later on. Also, Grace is here. Hello, Grace. Nice to see you here as well on the live stream. Mustafa, I'm okay, not too bad. I had a lovely sleep. Another nice sleep last night. Lovely. I slept like a baby. Hello, Francesca. Can I have my applause, please? Well, of course you can. Maybe next week, if you are first on the live chat. Shaker. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How's it going? It is going okay. It is not too bad. Everything is hanging quite nicely. There is a woodpecker, by the way. There is a woodpecker that keeps coming into the garden. And you might hear it from time to time. It makes a little noise, a little squeaking noise. Squeak. I like that word. A very unusual English word. Squeak. Squeak. Very strange. Of course, we will be looking at some strange words a little bit later on as well. We are looking at strange English words today, and we will be playing the sentence game again today. However, once more, it will be slightly different from the previous games, so I have changed it again. The sentence game is coming a little bit later on. We will be doing it later. For those who like learning English and practicing their skill of English. I don't know why it's so windy suddenly. This morning it was beautiful. It was very calm this morning, and then suddenly the wind has started blowing very strongly. Hello, Flower. Hello, I'm so happy to see you all here. Florence. Hello, Florence. Nice to see you today. Hello also to Sunshine. Also to Mika Ode. Hello to you watching in Japan. I believe recently it's been very humid in Japan. I was watching someone the other day on Periscope. There is this wonderful guy who walks around Tokyo. However, he goes into some of the parks. Apparently there are lots of lovely places to walk around in Tokyo. And there was a beautiful Tokyo park, and he was walking around. However, he was saying at the moment it's very humid very hot and humid, sticky at the moment. So I think maybe there is a very dry season, perhaps, coming up. Of course, when things are hot and humid, sometimes you can have a lot of rain as well. So maybe it won't be dry. Maybe you will get a lot of rain. Hello, Maria, Vitas. Hello also, Mr. Bruno. Hello, Mr. Bruno. I haven't seen you on the live stream for a while. It seems like ages. It seems like a very long time. Quran Kareem. Hello to you. Sunshine, Switzerland. Oh, Switzerland. I think Sunshine is in Switzerland, or maybe Quran Kareem is in Switzerland. However, wherever you are, I hope you are having a good day. Beatrice is here. Also we have, oh, hello to Irene. Hello, Irene. I like the fact that when I start my live streams, everyone says hello to each other in a very friendly way. I like that. I really do. I think it's great. Hello, Belarusia is here as well. Nice to see you back also. I hope everything is all right with you. Irene. Also, we have... oh, Husna. Husna 2020. Nice to see you as well. A lot of people already on the live chat. So we were in town yesterday. We went into town. We only planned to go in, get a couple of things, and then go back home. However, would you like to see? Here is the scene yesterday in Much Wenlock. So this is what greeted us. This is what we saw yesterday when we arrived in Much Wenlock. Look. Now it looks quiet. It looks deserted. But watch what happens as the camera moves. You will see that there are people everywhere. There are lots of cars, lots of people queuing up outside the shops. You might even be able to see Mr. Steve standing in the distance. Mr. Steve is also waiting in the queue very patiently. But you can see there were a lot of people, a lot of cars yesterday driving around. And there were many people gathering in the town centre. And I'm going to be honest with you. I felt a little nervous. I did feel slightly nervous that there were so many people walking around. In the high street, there were many people everywhere. And yes, I must admit, it felt rather strange indeed. Being surrounded by so many people after such a long time of having very few people around. So it did feel rather strange. Hello to Anapika, Mr. Duncan. I have advised your channel. I have suggested your channel to my friends to improve his English. So you have suggested my channel or recommended my channel to your friend so he can improve his English. He needs to create a Google account to be able to participate in the live chat. And I hope that he pops up here today. Oh, I see. So maybe your friend, Anna Pika, your friend is going to be actually on the live chat. That is one of the things. Sometimes I receive messages asking, why can't I join in on the live stream? And that is because maybe you are just watching on YouTube. So you have to have a YouTube channel. You have to have your own account to join in on the live stream. So Anna, I hope your friend joins in. If he does, I will give him a special hello and maybe a round of applause as well. Hello to Robin. Hello, Robin Hakim, asking, are you in London? I am not in London. I am very far away from London. I'm in the countryside, a place called Much Wenlock. a very quiet, very relaxing place, normally. Unless people are going crazy. Sometimes they go a bit crazy in the streets, especially if they've been living in lockdown for nearly 2 months. Hello also, If Mohammed. Hello, how is the situation in London? Well, I don't know what the situation in London is at the moment. However, many people are starting to go back to work. We are now having a situation where it is almost normal for some people. However, for other people, it is not normal. So it depends, really. It really does depend. Rajat says, it seems that your countrymen are not following the lockdown rules. Well, one of the things that's happening here is some of the rules have been relaxed. So I think many people are now just going outside anyway. Some people seem to assume that everything is all right, when it isn't. It isn't all right. Very interesting period of time at the moment. Malia, hello Mr. Duncan, please can I have a live one day from the city to show some shops? That is a good idea. That is a very good idea. I have in the past done live streams. I have done live streams from the place I live. Hello Fly Away. Why are there all those flags? Well, last week we had the commemoration of victory in Europe. So that is the reason why the flags are in the window. So many of the shops here in Much Wenlock put flags and things in the window or on the front of their buildings, because last week we were commemorating the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II. Hello to Anna. Oh, sorry, should I say Andy? Sorry about that. I changed your gender then. I'm very sorry. I promise not to cut anything off. Hello, Andy. Mr. Duncan, I think you remember it. Is there anyone going to listen to my story? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. What story are you talking about, I wonder? Hello to Mika. May is a beautiful season in Japan. It is a nice day today, but it will be the rainy season soon. Ah, so I was right. So when you get a lot of humidity, when the air becomes very damp and wet, and when you get a lot of heat, you might find also you will get a lot of rain. I see. Here in the UK, by the way, we are going to have a period of dry, warm weather over the next few days, which is good news. Hello, Lil. Hello also to Valeria. Mr. Duncan, what about masks? Do you have to use the masks? You don't have to use masks. However, some people are and some people are not. Personally, I'm not using a mask when I go into town. But I do stay very far away from other people. Trust me, I do. Hello to Noemi. Also we have Robin here again. Mr. Duncan, in the last video you showed us the wild garlic. So we like to eat it in Germany and it's quite expensive. Really? Ooh. Maybe during May, perhaps during this season, I could gather some of the wild garlic and sell it. The only problem is you are not allowed to do that. Did you know that? If you damage the wild garlic, if you pull it up, if you pick the wild garlic, you can actually get into trouble. Because the area where I live is protected. It is classified around here as an area of natural outstanding beauty. And because of that, there are many rules that you have to follow, including not damaging the plants in this area. so you could get into trouble. If I went to the top of the hill and started picking all of the wild garlic, I could get into trouble for doing it. So a lot of the nature around here is actually protected by law. Wow. Mr. Duncan, Rajat says, I suggest that you stay at home and stay safe. If possible, can you please make a live stream video daily? Oh, I know. I've had a few requests to make live streams every day. The only problem is, at the moment, my time is being divided between other things as well. And, of course, I have to have a little break as well sometimes as well. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I'm glad to see you again. Take care and enjoy the fresh air. Thank you. Oh, Axanth. I haven't seen you for a long time. I am having a lot of reunions today. It feels as if I am having some lovely, wonderful reunions with some of my students who haven't been on for a long time. Nice to see you back. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Valentina. Mr. Duncan, how about the schools in the UK? Are they closed or are they going to continue with online lessons? This at the moment is a big, very big, hot topic. It is a very controversial thing at the moment. The government want the schools to reopen. I think it's June the 1st. So in just a couple of weeks from now, they want the schools to reopen. However, there are many teachers who are concerned with, well, of course, not only their own health, but also the health of the children as well. So we will again wait and see what happens there. So many things happening in the world. It is a very busy period of time for the human race, don't you think? I think so anyway. Hello to Carly. Mr. Duncan, I'm happy to be with you. This is my first time on your live video, and I would like to be here as I can get the benefit, and I am very grateful for all that you give us. Thank you very much. Carly, or Khalil. Hello, Khalil. It is your first time here, is it? I see. Okay. Would you like a round of applause? Welcome to the world of English with Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way. We are going to have a look at the cows in a moment. Yesterday, we met the cows at the back of the house. They came right up to the fence at the back of the garden. And, of course, I had my camera nearby. So I did do a little bit of filming. In a moment, we're going to have a look at the lovely cows, and they're lovely and sweet and quite cute as well because they're very young, so they're quite shy and quite timid, as you will see. Hello to Robin again. Hello also to Noemi. Says, I've never eaten wild garlic. Well, you can use the leaves, so you can use the leaves in soup. You can use it. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Do you know, how does Paul McCartney live now? Is he healthy? As far as I know, Paul McCartney is in very good health. He was doing a live stream a few days ago. So as far as I can tell, he was all right. If I was honest, I would say that his singing is not as good as it used to be. He doesn't sing as well as he used to many years ago. Oh, I know. Mr. Duncan, why did you say that? But sometimes you have to know when to stop. There's nothing worse than seeing a performer who carries on doing something when they should stop doing it. Hello from Karachi. Korichi Kader. Nice to see you as well on the live stream. Would you like to see the cattle yesterday? Oh, so nice. Yesterday, we officially met the cattle at the back of the house. They came over to the fence and we spent a little bit of time together. And now you are going to do the same thing. Oh, so lovely, so beautiful. Did you like that? The cows have now officially been introduced. They suddenly appeared yesterday at the back of the garden, and then they came over, and so we couldn't resist spending a little time with the cows. They are all cows, by the way, so I thought maybe some of them were bulls, but in fact they're not. They are all young cows, and they seem very excited to see us, even though their breath is a little smelly. It smells like a compost heap, I always think. I'm going to say two things to Mr. Steve. One of them is phone. I love doing live streams. One of the things about doing live streams is that now and again you don't know what's going to happen next. So I just said to Mr. Steve, phone. And that's because Mr. Steve will need his phone, you see. And now all I have to do now is stand here. Stand here and just fold my arms like this. Yes. We're going to have the sentence game a little bit later on. Also, I suppose whilst we're waiting for Steve, we can have a look at one of the unusual words that exists in the English language. Would you like to have a look? Okay. Okay. Oh, what a way not to make a living. Here we go then. Some English words that are very unusual. An unusual English word. Here's an interesting word. Have you ever seen this word before? Infantile. Infantile. Something infantile. An infantile person? Have you ever heard of this word? Would you like a hand, Mr. Steve? Would you like a hand?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Mr. Steve, would you like a hand? I can help you.
Yes,
I can do it. No, don't come this way. Oh, are you okay?
Yes.
Have you done it?
Am I on?
Not yet.
Okay.
Have you done it?
No.
Oh, do you want me to help you? We are live, by the way. We're actually on. Do you want me to help you?
Yes. I can't see the live chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here he is. It's Mr. Mr. Steve.
Hello, everyone. And hello, everyone. As usual, I'm grappling with technology. Mr. Duncan gives me this phone rather, for me to look at the live stream, but I can't see any live stream. So Mr. Duncan's going to have to come along and sort it out for me, because it never works. You see, when it's not your phone, you don't know how to use it, do you?
No.
Oh, there we go. That's good. Okay, Mr. Duncan's got it working. You see, what he should do is get it working before I come on, and then I don't have to grapple with... I hate push button. Let's see who I can block today accidentally, Mr. Duncan.
Can I just say, Steve, you do have the habit. You have a habit of blocking people by accident. We've had a lot of situations occur.
I do, yes, because I think what happens is that because this is quite small and I'm trying to read the live chat, if I... And, of course, touch screens, you only have to sort of go anywhere near them and some new system opens up. I accidentally click on people's names and then block them.
Yes.
So if you get blocked today, or if you're a moderator and you have your moderator status taken away, it's my fault.
Yes.
And it's an accident.
So if you suddenly get kicked out of today's live chat and you've done nothing wrong...
I'm in the bright sunlight, Mr. Duncan. I was promised shade.
Oh, I just really... You've got your hat on.
I know, but my hands, I don't want my hands to age.
Do you want some gloves?
No, I'll be all right. I'll suffer.
You can wear your gardening gloves. But
It's quite cloudy, so UV exposure will be kept to a minimum, I think.
Oh, and as you can hear, someone started their lawnmower, of course, behind me. Of course.
That's our neighbour having her lawn mowed.
Yes. Well, I think I gave that away slightly.
How is your grass? Says Quarren. Thank you very much. My grass, as you can see behind,
yes, it's looking quite
is
good.
Actually coming on quite well. Thank you very much.
It's looking quite good. Shall we have a close look? So I've done a little video clip. I've made a little video clip of Mr. Steve's lawn. Here it is, close up. So as you can see, the grass is really coming up now. Lots of little blades of grass. So we always say blade. A little piece of grass that is coming up out of the ground we describe as a blade. So as you can see, the grass is really looking good. You've done a good job of that, Steve. It's looking quite nice at the moment.
Thank you. Yes. Well, it's not that difficult. You've just got to keep it watered once you put the seed in.
Yes.
And I've got to make sure I don't neglect it now over the next few weeks. When it's about that high, I can give it its first cut.
That's it.
And then from there, by the end of the year, we should see a lovely lawn.
Yeah, so I'm still showing the video at the moment, so you can see that there are lots and lots of little shoots coming up out of the ground, and that is grass. That is Mr. Steve's new lawn.
They are the seedlings.
Yes,
the
it looks
little
good.
Seedlings.
It looks good. I'm impressed. I think Mr. Steve's lawn deserves a round of applause.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Yes.
I might even get an award in a gardening magazine.
I'm not sure if there are awards.
Shall I phone up the Royal Horticultural Society?
Oh yes.
Which is our sort of go-to place if you want to know anything about plants in the UK. And
Go-to
gardening.
place.
Royal Horticultural Society. I'm sure you've all got equivalents in your own country.
Yes. Well, what they do, they kind of oversee all the standards of the gardens. So there are many gardens that you can visit publicly. Well, maybe not at the moment for various reasons. But yes, I was just showing a word. Here is the word infantile.
Oh, yes.
Infantile. I think this is a good word, actually, because sometimes I think maybe Mr. Steve, you are a little, dare I say, infantile. Ooh.
Well, I was thinking about accusing you of being infantile, Mr. Duncan.
Really? So infantile means to behave like a child. Normally we might call an adult who is behaving in a very immature way. Maybe they are getting upset over nothing, or maybe they're not able to have something that they want and they start complaining. Maybe they start making a lot of fuss and they have a tantrum like a child. So yes, we can say infantile. An infantile person is a person
behaving unreasonably.
Yes.
And childishly.
Yes.
And yes, that's what you would. It's a negative phrase, isn't it, Mr. Duncan?
I don't know why. When I set your camera up earlier, you were right at the top, and now I think you're slumped slightly.
Is that
That's better, yes.
Shall I sit more upright, Mr. Duncan?
That's it. You're more erect now.
By the way, before anyone asks, this isn't red wine.
No. Although
it's very close.
Although at the moment I feel as if I could do with some.
It's actually red grape juice.
Yes.
So you could make wine from it. But you see, I like to drink this because it's like having wine. So you've got all the benefits of wine without the potential negative effects of the alcohol. Although some people would say that is the positive aspect of wine.
Yes, isn't that the whole? Isn't the point of drinking alcohol to feel a little drunk? Maybe.
But you don't want to be drinking it during a live stream. Well, we could drink it during a live stream. It would certainly make your English lessons very different.
Yes, I think so. Because, well, first of all, I would be unconscious because I always get very sleepy.
I haven't even got a table here. I have to lean down onto the grass.
You poor see, now who's behaving in an infantile way? That's what I was on about. He's complaining about the sun. He's complaining about having no table. And this morning, guess what Steve did this morning? He broke something that I treasure. He broke something that is in my kitchen, or it's in our kitchen.
Your kitchen. Mr. Duncan just walks through the kitchen. It's just a room for Mr. Duncan. To get from one room to another, Mr. Duncan walks through the kitchen. He never stops there to do anything.
No, I always see the kitchen as a conduit.
It's like the garden. It's just a place to walk through to get somewhere, usually to set up a live stream. And all this lovely, neat mown grass, the neatly cut bushes, they just sort of magically appear as Mr. Duncan
I thought they did. I thought they did. So this morning Steve broke something, and it's something I love. It's something I bought a long time ago, but Steve, being sometimes a little clumsy, let's just say, he broke my cockerel. Mr. Steve broke my cockerel. Look, there it is now on the screen, my little cockerel, with all of its little bits broken. So Steve this morning, he apologised. I did hear it happen. Steve doesn't realise, but I actually heard it happen. I heard a sort of and then I heard oh, and I thought, oh, what's Steve broken this time?
Well, Mr. Duncan, I was working, cleaning the kitchen.
Okay.
You know, I know that's a concept you find hard to understand.
Sometimes.
So when you're sort of doing things, then sometimes accidents happen. You've got to actually do something, Mr. Duncan, for an accident to happen. So I was cleaning the kitchen, and unfortunately a bottle of cleaner fell over and hit this cockerel, which is an ornament we keep on the windowsill in the kitchen. It's very fragile. I mean, who wants a glass ornament in front of their sink on the kitchen near the kitchen window, it's bound to get damaged.
But it's
isn't
pleasant.
it?
It's something nice to look at when I'm washing the
It
dishes.
should be kept away from harm's way.
Away from harm's way.
Yes, it shouldn't be in an area with lots of traffic, as we say, where lots of things are going on. Cleaning cloths are flying around, bottles of fluid for
Well, sorry?
cleaning. There's knives and forks and plates. It's an accident waiting to happen.
I suppose so, yes. That is a busy part of the kitchen, I suppose. Talking of busy, Steve,
Yes.
what the bloody hell was going on yesterday in town? All those people.
Well,
Okay.
Mr. Duncan, you would think that the UK is back to normal suddenly.
Wow.
Uh,
We went into town yesterday.
it was just like a normal Saturday before we went into lockdown.
It's incredible.
I've never seen so many people. They were all out and about in groups, chatting away.
Lots of cars.
Because we've had some new direction from the government in the UK, which
okay.
some people have interpreted as being very confusing.
Yeah.
And I think most people have sort of interpreted the new instructions to mean just go out and do what you like.
Yes. I think really, I mean, I don't blame people for getting confused. However, I think there seems to be no sort of middle area where people are adjusting slowly. They've gone from being in the house to just going outside and doing their normal things.
Can I have a moan, Mr. Duncan?
Oh no.
Can I have a moan?
A moan?
This is about how some people's... And hopefully some of you will relate to this.
You want to have a moan, that's all you do.
I know I do a lot of moaning. As I get older, I'm turning into a grumpy old man.
Yes.
But one thing that is particularly annoying at the moment during lockdown, because there are restrictions on how many people can go into the shops, and you have to queue outside because only one person's allowed in at a time. So, but what people are doing when they're going into the shops, instead of just going in, getting what they want and leaving, they're chatting away to the people behind the counter. And it's made me very angry yesterday, Mr. Duncan. I had to give someone a very stern look because I was waiting outside the bread shop.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 minutes I was outside there, and all I could hear was gabble, gabble, gabble. And there was a lady in there. She was chatting away to all the people working in there. She went on and on and on. In the end, I stood by the entrance, put my hands on my hips, and gave a look that suggested very strongly that I wanted to leave. Because, I mean, it's not right, is it, Mr. Duncan? One, she shouldn't have been chatting in the first place, because every time you speak, particles are coming out of your mouth, which could be full of viruses. And it's very rude and disrespectful to all the other people queuing up and waiting outside. So I left her no impression that I was very, very disappointed with the way she behaved. And she went out sheepishly out of the shop. But anyway, that's my little pet moan. So has anybody else experienced this situation? If they are in a lockdown situation where they go to a shop and people are chatting and not being respectful for other people that are waiting. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm intolerant.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe I'm intolerant. But you see, I'm in and out. In, bread, pay, out. Not, oh no, how is the weather today? Oh, isn't it nice? Oh, all these people around, isn't it? Shut up and get out. That's what I wanted to say.
This is a happy feeling today we're having here.
Yes.
Isn't that lovely?
Save your gossiping for social media.
Okay,
Don't
so-
do it in the real world when there's a pandemic on. Anyway.
Okay, Steve. So what was that list of words I told you to avoid using?
That wasn't one of them.
Okay, if you say so. So Steve this morning, he broke my cockerel. He broke some little pieces off my lovely little cockerel. However, Steve, you are also having difficulty at the moment, aren't you?
What with?
Well, we're not talking about your body this time.
Oh.
Certain things becoming smaller, some things getting larger, and some things are falling off. However, you have a little bit of a problem at the moment with something in your garden.
Oh, you mean
Come
on
on.
about the hose?
No?
A problem in the garden.
No, just look.
conifers
Just
dying
look on the
off.
ground next to you.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, apart from the fact that we have got certain trees dying off, which I'm convinced are being... Well, I won't say it because... Anyway, yes, Mr. Duncan bought me a wheelbarrow for Christmas a number of years ago, and regular viewers will remember, because I'm sure you must have seen me several times walking around the garden with a wheelbarrow, a green wheelbarrow.
Yes, it's there.
Oh, right, okay.
It's just behind me. Let me just show you. There it is. So there is Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow. Unfortunately, it has a slight problem at the moment. Look, it has no wheel. It's lost its wheel, unfortunately.
Here it is, Mr. Duncan. Here it is.
Oh,
And I've taken it off because, as you can see, it's flat.
yes.
It's a pneumatic wheel. So there's an inner tube, just like a bike, and which I think's not a very good idea on a wheelbarrow because you're going over rough ground and it keeps getting punctures. And it's quite annoying because I go into the garage to get the lawnmower out to do some gardening, move some things around, and it's flat. And I've got to take this... Oh, I'll tell you something. If you've ever tried taking the inner tube out from within a tyre on a wheelbarrow, it's extremely difficult. Anyway, it's now beyond repair and I need to get a new one. I'm not going to get a new inner tube. It only needs a new inner tube, but I can't be bothered because it keeps all the time getting bursting and getting punctured. So I'm going to get a solid wheel. I'm going to replace it with an upgrade. I'm going to upgrade it to a solid rubber wheel, and I will never need to have it repaired ever again.
When you said upgrade, I thought you were going to say that you were going to get one of those hover wheelbarrows that float.
Yes. Well, they're a bit expensive, Mr. Duncan.
And they don't exist.
And they don't exist. So yes, I'm going to get a solid rubber wheel for my wheelbarrow. That's quite a mouthful. A solid rubber wheel for my wheelbarrow.
Yes.
You could, if you want to practice English, practice a difficult term, try that one.
So instead of having air in your tyre, you're going to get a solid one, and then
Just said that, yes.
it can't get damaged.
And then it will last forever.
Yes.
I think Mr. Duncan got a cut price model when you got it because, you know, who wants to have punctures in your wheelbarrow?
Yes.
So no more, solid rubber, and off we go. I'll be able to do gardening to my heart's content. I tried to get one yesterday, but they hadn't got the right size.
The sun is really coming down now.
Pardon?
The sun is really coming down.
I know. I'm going to have to get some factor 30, I think. Must protect my delicate skin, Mr. Duncan.
You must.
I don't want to age prematurely.
I will bring the umbrella out, and then you can sit under that.
Although I don't need the sun to age prematurely when I've got you around, Mr. Duncan. Have you noticed I'm full of energy this week?
Yes, you seem a lot better.
Well, the last 2 weeks, as you know,
No, you
regular
haven't.
viewers will know I have not
No.
been 100% healthy.
And no, as far as I'm concerned, it was not. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, Steve, but I think Steve wants to have it just so he can be all dramatic.
Well, I had something.
Steve likes his drama.
I had some kind of viral infection.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's not speculate as to what it was.
No.
But according to the doctor that I called, there's only one virus around at the moment.
Yeah.
So, draw of that what you may.
Yes, draw of it. Whatever conclusion you decide to come to. However, the one thing I was going to say is I don't think it was because I'm all right. I haven't been ill or felt unwell, so I don't think Steve had it, to be honest. I think Steve just likes to be dramatic. He's a bit of a drama queen.
Well, I had all the symptoms, Mr. Duncan. Well, I didn't have all of them, but I had a lot of them. And they were enough I can tell you, I didn't want any more. I didn't have any breathing difficulties.
No.
But let's not go into it. I'm better now, and hopefully I'll get a certificate and I'll be able to go anywhere I like.
I don't understand
Although
that.
it's very interesting, actually,
What?
because I'm going to have to shift slightly, Mr. Duncan,
Okay.
because the new rules that we've got in the UK for how you can go about your business in this sort of, the lockdown has been gradually eased in the UK, is that certain countries like Wales and Scotland have basically told the Prime Minister, we're going to ignore what you've told people in England to do. And because he originally said, our Prime Minister, well, you can go anywhere now, doesn't matter. Travel anywhere you like for exercise. And then Wales and Scotland immediately said, well, don't come here because we'll arrest you. So, Mr. Duncan, we can't, he's disappeared as usual. We can't travel to Wales, to scenic Wales at the moment, because it is a devolved part of the UK, so they have their own rules and laws to a certain extent. So they've told us, do not come into Wales, which is only about 30 miles from here, 20 miles from here, and we can't go there because we will be arrested. But we can go anywhere in England, but we can't go to Wales and we can't go to Scotland.
There you go, Steve.
And many towns... Oh, I've got to hold this.
First.
Blimey. How can I look at the... Oh, the live chat. Oh, no, it's back again. So, he does look after me. Got to give him that. He is looking after me.
I am looking after you.
So there we go. So, yes, confusion reigns in the UK at the moment as to what exactly you can do. But we can't go to Scotland or Wales, Mr. Duncan. And we could have gone to Wales because I'm taking some holiday next week.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we'll go to Wales for a nice little romp up a hill somewhere.
So
We'll go to
we're going to go maybe to a beauty spot around here. We of course we will be careful not to get too close to other people if they are there as well. We will be very careful. So Steve has his umbrella now because he was complaining about the sun shining on his face.
Yeah, so we can go somewhere next week, Mr. Duncan, but we can't go to Wales because they've said don't come.
No.
Which I can understand it.
To us personally,
Well,
have they told us not to come to Wales? Because I think that might be another reason.
yes. Yeah, so there you go, we can't. So, yes, shall I show you something else that I broke last week? Or the week
Okay.
before? I'll have to put that down, of course. Do you remember the story of me destroying one of the baking trays with
Yes.
caustic soda?
Yes, Steve decided to use caustic soda on everything in the kitchen, and some of it dissolved. So what else happened, Steve?
Well, I was applying the caustic soda using a baking brush. So that's what a baking brush should look like. Nice bristles there for basting your meat
Yes.
with fat. So this is a new one, which had to replace the one that went slightly wrong
Yes.
when I dipped it in caustic soda solution.
Yes. Putting things in caustic soda will do that.
It's basically gone all. Well, look, it's all gone brittle.
It's just destroyed.
So we can't use that anymore on our pastry. So I had to buy a new one. So we forgot to show that the other week. But yes, caustic soda, avoid at all costs. Unless you've got a very badly blocked drain. In which case, I would say don't go above 10%.
Don't use it on anything else. I think that's the advice there, isn't it?
Maria says, are you both into conspiracy theories?
No.
Well, I am a bit.
We have to be careful what we're talking about
That's
here.
true. Yes, we do.
Steve?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes, YouTube at the moment is very, very fussy about those sorts of things, to be honest. Very fussy. So we have to be careful what we're saying.
That's very true, Mr.
Okay, we are
Duncan.
teaching English here, even though we haven't really mentioned much English for a while. It seems like we're doing a completely different show here. Here we go. Here's another word. Oh, now this is nice. I like this. Here is another English word. You might hear this used if you are criticising someone or if you are being sarcastic about something. So you might hear this used. It is an interesting word. Any idea, Steve, how to pronounce
I
it?
can't see it from here, Mr. Duncan.
You can't see it.
Ah, there we go. Highfalutin.
A highfalutin.
Highfalutin.
Something that is highfalutin. It's an interesting word. It looks like it might be unreal. However, it is a real English word. Something that is maybe highbrow, or maybe something that is maybe a little pretentious, or maybe if you do something that is there to impress another person by appearing intelligent or maybe sophisticated. You might describe something as being highfalutin. So quite often we use this as a criticism. So this is often used as a negative or sometimes a sarcastic word. So we will say, oh, last night we went to our friend's house. It was a very highfalutin affair. We are saying that they were being very pretentious, very stuck up. They were being, well, they were showing off.
Yes, maybe they had posh wine.
Yes.
Or they had some canapes. Maybe they did things that they wouldn't normally do, but they were trying to impress.
Highfalutin.
Oh, you're being a bit highfalutin, aren't you?
Mm.
With all this expensive wine and these canapes.
Yes.
Ooh, china cups. I thought you normally just drunk your tea out of a mug. Ooh, that's a bit highfalutin.
Very.
Yeah, so yeah, if you act in a way that's different than you normally do because you're maybe trying to progress socially
Mm.
or be something that you're not, and try to climb the social classes, then the friends that you have left behind might accuse you of being highfalutin.
Highfalutin, a little bit pretentious.
Maybe you start saying that you read books by certain authors.
Hmm.
Oh, I read War and Peace the other day. And maybe you normally just read sort of health magazines, and suddenly you're reading War and Peace or something like that. Somebody might, oh, you're a bit highfalutin, aren't you?
Yes. Highbrow. Something highbrow,
like that.
something you are doing because you are trying to impress people.
Who do you think you are?
Something that is sophisticated, but normally it is done to show off. Very good. Very nice. We're going to have a little break, Steve. Would you
Are
like a
we?
break? For two reasons. One, we have a full English lesson to show. We have some excerpts. And also, I'm going to arrange Mr. Steve's shade.
Oh, you don't have to, Mr. Duncan.
Well, I will, because it looks dreadful, the fact that you have to use an umbrella.
It's not good, is it?
It's annoying me, basically.
You didn't predict the path of the sun very much,
No.
did you, Mr.
Well,
Duncan?
it changes every day. So at the moment, the sun is moving slightly further up every day. So as the days get longer and longer at the moment. So that's what's happening here in the UK. Let's have a look at one of my full English lessons. Steve can have a little drink. I might join you as well, to be honest. And then we will come back and we will have more fun and games with myself and also Mr. Steve. It's funny how some English phrases have more than one use. Here is a good example of this occurrence. The phrase take off can be used in many ways. You can take off something, as in removing it. To peel off something or to remove one thing from another is to take off. You can take off the paint from an object, such as a door or wall. You can take off your clothes. To remove something is to take off. To mimic or impersonate someone is to take off. To copy the mannerisms of a person, such as their movements and voice, is to take off. His takeoff of Elvis Presley was really convincing. To delete something from a list, you will need to take off that item. I had to take off the names of the absent students. To lift off from the ground in an aircraft is to take off. You take off in an aeroplane. The plane is ready to leave the ground. Can you please tell the passengers to prepare for takeoff? There is also take down, which describes the action of making a written record of something. I will need to take down your name and address. Take down can also mean dismantle. To slowly break something apart with care is to take down something. We will have to take down the tent tomorrow when the wind is not so strong. To destroy a person's reputation with criticism can be described as a takedown. You defeat someone by criticizing them. A website that is removed from the internet is a takedown. The owners of the website were given a takedown notice by the government. Even the word take can be used in many ways. To steal something is take. The way you view something is take. What is your take on the situation in Syria? To film a sequence that has been prepared in advance is a take. You might have to do many takes of something before you get it right. Let's go again with another take. I hope we get it right this time. To transport something from one place to another is also take. You can take a person to the airport in your car. You can take some clothes out of the wardrobe. To take in is to give a home to someone. You might take in a homeless person during the winter months. To relax or consider something for a while or to process something is to take time. It will take time for you to recover from your injuries. There are so many uses of the word take. It's true. You can take my word for it. It's time now to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a phrase or sentence that is popular during a certain period of time, or is commonly used in general. Today's buzzword is controversy or controversy. The word controversy is a noun which means a row in response or a negative reaction to something. A strong reaction to something such as someone's personal opinion or a provocative action. His words caused controversy throughout the world. You can create controversy by saying something inflammatory or provocative. The words used cause anger and outrage. To speak in a way that offends people. A controversy usually involves people with opposing views. One group agrees or holds the same opinion, whilst the other group disagrees, thus creating controversy. The occurrence of the controversy is described as controversial, a controversial plan, a controversial idea, a controversial film, a controversial speech. Controversial is the adjective form of controversy. The President has announced controversial reforms to the healthcare service. The controversial thing creates controversy. It is controversial because one group objects while another accepts. A person who causes controversy is controversial. He or she is a controversial character. The word controversy comes from the Latin word for turn around, which refers to an opposing view or the actual disagreement. Synonyms of controversy include altercation, disagreement, dispute, opposition, quarrel, wrangle. The overall disagreement over something in society can be described as controversy. The subject in question is controversial. Life is full of surprises. You never really know what is round the corner. Life is unpredictable, and quite often you can find yourself being caught on the hop. I love that expression. To get caught on the hop means to be caught unawares and unprepared. If you are distracted by something you are doing, then it is possible to suddenly be caught on the hop. You are caught off guard and forced into a difficult situation by being unprepared. This phrase is often used in British English. We can also say that a person who is busy doing something is on the hop. They are bustling. They are active. They are actively doing something. They are on the hop. Another great phrase for being unprepared is caught with your pants down. A person who has been put in a difficult position by being unprepared for something has been caught with their pants down. The regional manager's visit caught us all with our pants down. The inquiry caught many politicians with their pants down. To be caught on the hop, to be caught with your pants down. You were not ready for what happened. For most of us, it's just another day in this crazy thing we call life. Have you ever been caught with your trousers down? Here we go. Yes, we are back live, and yes, it is Sunday, and this is English Addict live from England. You will be pleased to hear that Mr. Steve is now sitting in the shade. He's in the shade, he's feeling very comfortable, and I've just gone to a lot of work to make sure.
It's a bit cold now, Mr. Duncan. I'm a bit cold now, the sun's gone. Don't want to annoy Mr. Duncan.
You can't complain about this.
No, I'm in perfect shade. It's delightful, Mr. Duncan, delightful. A lot of people have been talking about wine today. There's quite a conversation going on the live chat about various types of wine and where people like to get it from. And let me just mention that I mentioned the grape juice that I was drinking earlier. It looks like wine. In fact, it's Merlot grape juice. We can actually buy grape juice. Merlot obviously is another, I think it's French, isn't it, Merlot? Must be a region of France, perhaps. And it's absolutely delicious. Obviously real red wine, I can't even say red wine, Mr. Duncan, would be preferable, but obviously we're on a live stream, we've got to be responsible.
It is true. And
to a couple of other people who've said that my shirt matches the cloth on the chair, the material on the chair.
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't deliberately done that. A couple of people, at least one person said, have you deliberately matched your shirt with the pattern in the cloth of the seat? No, I haven't. It was pure coincidence. But it's not unlikely to happen because I do like check patterns in my shirts.
Yes.
But no, pure accident.
Well, if you notice, we're both wearing very similar styles of shirt. So mine also is check. So yes, this type of pattern where you have lots of squares or lines going in both directions, you get this sort of effect. Check. So Mr. Steve is wearing a check shirt, and I'm also wearing a check shirt as well. Even though Mr. Steve's shirt looks a lot better than mine does. So we were talking about things that don't work properly, things that used to work but no longer. For example, Mr. Steve's poor little wheelbarrow. So it needs repairing. However, there are many words you can use, Steve, to talk about things that are not working, something that used to work but doesn't anymore. For example, we could say something is
Broken.
broken. Something is broken. So it used to work, or maybe the function is no longer there. However, we can also talk about the structure of something, how it looks or how it has been damaged physically. So broken can be it doesn't work, it stopped working, it
For
no
example,
longer...
my watch has broken. My wheelbarrow has broken.
Yes, or maybe I could say my little my little cockerel. There it is. Look, my little cockerel is broken because Mr. Steve was very careless this morning in the kitchen.
Accidents happen when you're a person who works hard.
Yes, something has been damaged, something that is not repairable. So maybe something also that you can't repair or put right. We can say that it is broken. It does not work
Yes,
anymore.
you can describe a person as broken as well,
Yes.
not just inanimate objects, not just things that we use,
Yes.
like cars. My car is broken, my watch is broken. If a person seems to be really damaged mentally, then you can say that they're broken.
Yes.
They've had some trauma in their life, and they're not the same as they were before. You can describe that person as, I think they're broken. They're never going to be the same again.
Yes.
My leg. I mean, physically you can have a broken leg, but mentally you can be broken.
Yes.
In spirit as well.
Yes.
Your spirit can be broken.
But it's worth pointing out that if you break your leg or something, we don't say that you are a broken person.
No.
No.
You only say yes. You would say my leg is broken. But if you describe a person as they're broken, it means that something's happened to them spiritually, mentally. They're not the same person. Maybe they've had a tragedy or an illness that's changed them in some way, and they're never going to be the same again.
Maybe
broken.
you've suffered some sort of defeat or some sort of humiliation.
Yes.
You might say, oh, he's not the same, he is a broken man.
Exactly.
A broken man. It means he's had some sort of disappointment or maybe some sort of trauma. Something really bad has happened and now he can't cope with life. He is a broken man, a broken person.
Maybe a fall from grace. Maybe they had a powerful job, a well-respected job, and then they did something illegal or something that compromised their position, and they're ashamed of it, and that you could then say that they're a broken person. They don't recover from the trauma of whatever's happened to them.
Here's another one. Something that's broken, we can say that it is bust.
Yes.
Bust. Quite often we use this in British English. You might occasionally hear it in American English, but quite often in British English we will say something that is broken, something that no longer works or functions. We can say that it is bust. I'm sorry, it's bust. This Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow is bust. It no longer works.
Yes, and I think sometimes when you use... So when would you use the word bust instead of broken? Maybe bust is something that is beyond repair.
I just gave you well, that's it. Something that is... I think it's just generally something that isn't performing the function anymore. It can't perform the function. So quite often a mechanical thing we might describe as bust. or maybe a part of your body even. You might bust your ankle, you might bust your shoulder, you damage it and it needs repairing. So maybe something that needs repairing or no longer does the thing that it's supposed to do, such as Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow.
And yes, is it maybe a bit of a slang word? Bust?
It is. It's actually, it might even be a colloquialism, because I think even here in the UK people don't all say bust.
No, you don't hear it very often.
No.
Well, something can be, going back to broken, if something is broken, sometimes it can be repaired, but if something can't be repaired that's broken, you would use the phrase broken beyond repair. Broken beyond repair, to indicate that it's broken and it can't be fixed.
No.
My wheelbarrow is not broken beyond repair. It can be repaired.
That's it. So something can be done to Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow to make it work again.
And it will become unbroken.
So at the moment, it is bust. It doesn't work. However, Mr. Steve is going to try and repair it. He will get a new wheel for his wheelbarrow.
My computer is bust.
Yes.
It would normally, if I was to use that phrase, it would almost indicate that it couldn't be repaired. It's quite it's a stronger tone that you're using when you say bust. It's a stronger tone than just saying it's broken. You're really trying to emphasise the fact that it's not working properly anymore.
Of course, you can use the word in another way as well. If a business goes out of business, so maybe they have no money, you might find over the next few months many companies will be going bust, which means to go out of business. You can't sustain the company. You can't keep running the company because you have no money, or maybe you have a very big loss against your company. So you will go bust, to lose all of your money, or maybe to lose your business. You go bust. You have no more money left to run your business. So you go bust. Another interesting meaning of that
the
word.
Business is broken. It's bust. Yes, that's a very common way of using that word in this country, Mr. Duncan, to describe a business that is no longer trading, gone out of business. The business is bust. Yes.
Sean says Mr. Steve's wheelbarrow is not really bust. Well, it is at the moment, but it can be put right.
There is another use of the word bust as well. Yes. A woman's breasts.
So a lady's
can be called
breasts.
Their bust.
Quite often when you're measuring a woman. So if a woman is being measured for maybe an item of clothing, you will measure her bust size. So the size of a lady's bosoms, hooters.
Yes, what's your bust size is what you would if a lady, a woman was going to buy a bra in the UK,
or Mr. Steve,
then the shop assistant would say, well, what is your bust size, madam? And I don't know, 38D, is that something like that? You would describe as
I don't know what that is though. Is 38D, is that big?
I think it's on the above average size.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, not that I know.
Can I just say, I know nothing. I would not know where to begin with
38 double D would be,
what?
On the large side.
Well, double.
I would say.
Well, what you mean? There are two of them.
I think if you go double.
I don't know. We're talking about something that neither of us knows anything about.
Not our area of expertise.
I must admit, it's been a while since I've been near anyone's breasts. Mr. Steve, maybe not, because his mother was still breastfeeding him when he was 8. He was actually standing up, and he would actually go up to his mum and say, "Come on, Get them out. Let's go.
I still do, Mr. Duncan. I'm joking, of course.
Wow, that is a horrible image that I'm now having in my brain. It won't go away.
It's the wine that's making me talk.
Dear, I think so. Something is.
I'm a little hoarse today.
Are you?
But then I spoke to my sister earlier and she said her voice was hoarse. I think.
Okay, you're a little hoarse. Would you like some hay?
Oh! Mr. Duncan, from this angle, that word looks very rude.
Oh, I see. What you mean? You mean sort of that?
Yes, because
Okay.
because of Mr. Duncan's got about 8 tripods in front of him.
This is not interesting because no one can see it.
I know, but well, people can imagine.
Okay. Imagine tripods.
Between me and Mr. Duncan, there is a lot of equipment.
Imagine a gazebo full of camera equipment, microphones, wires, and also Mr. Steve and Mr. Duncan. There we go. What a vivid image I've just painted for you there. Conked out. Conked out. This also is used a lot in British English. Something that has conked out, has stopped working. Maybe your car. You might say that your car has conked out. It no longer works. It broke down one day and I can't get it to start. Unfortunately, my car has conked out. I love that. It's a great word.
You would use that expression when you're trying to add more emotion into the phrase. So instead of just saying my car's broken, if you say my car's broken, that's a fairly ordinary expression to use. It's not really conveying any emotion.
No.
When you say, oh, my car's broken, unless you say it in a way that suggests some emotion. But if you say my car's conked out, you're really saying that you're really annoyed about it when you use a phrase like conked out. It's quite an emotional phrase.
Yes.
Used to describe something that's broken.
It's very descriptive.
It's very descriptive. So yes, it's more of an emotion, like my car's bust. That's quite emotional. You're angry if you use that phrase. Yeah. If you say conked out, you're saying I'm really annoyed that thing has broken. So yeah.
A person might conk out when they die. There was a famous comedian called John Le Mesurier, and he wrote his own eulogy that was published in the newspapers. And he put in his eulogy, John Le Mesurier would wish it to be known that he conked out, which I thought was brilliant. What a wonderful thing to put in the newspaper about your own death. You conked out.
Saturino says, very cleverly, is saying Mr. Steve is in vino veritas.
Oh.
In wine the truth.
Oh.
So it's not actually wine.
No.
It looks like. Let's pretend it is. So I think once you've had a bit of alcohol, you become very free flowing with what you say.
Yes.
And your inner thoughts.
Although, to be honest, you don't need alcohol to do that.
I just need a live stream.
Yes. It's like you're on some sort of truth serum. You just can't hold it in.
Francesca says, I've never had a glass of wine. Maybe you've just had lots of half glasses.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you've never had a whole glass, but you've just had lots and lots and lots of half glasses.
Maybe you just sniff the cork.
Or maybe she's saying, I've never had a glass of wine. I always drink the whole bottle. I think that's what you're saying, aren't you, Francesca? So you're not lying, you're just distorting the truth. We're joking, of course.
Oh, something I wanted to show you. One of Mr. Steve's plants is coming up again. Who remembers a couple of years ago when I was showing you Mr. Steve's lovely dahlia? Well, guess what? It is actually growing again. And there it is. You can see Mr. Steve's little dahlia. And I will put it on the screen so you can see the word. There it is. It is a strange word to spell, but the word is dahlia. and it's a plant that grows to quite a large height, and they produce some beautiful flowers. Would you like to see some dahlia flowers? Here they are. So that's what they look like when they come out. Very beautiful. So quite often you can have white ones, pink ones, I think also blue. You can have blue dahlias, lots and lots of different types of dahlia. However, at the moment, Steve, his dahlia is looking a little, well, it's only just started to come out again after being in hibernation for the winter period. So there it is. There is the dahlia that I took a photograph of this morning, and yes, it is coming out. It's looking rather nice, in fact. Very nice. And of course, Mr. Steve likes doing things in the garden. Isn't that true?
Yes, it is, Mr. Duncan. So that dahlia will require a lot of watering and maintenance and love and care in order to make it bloom and look beautiful and attractive near our back door.
Apparently, Francesca says Dahlia is the name of my daughter.
Well, your daughter must be very beautiful.
Yes, a pretty flower.
A pretty flower, yes, and comes up every year. Does she die off in the winter? Does she go into hibernation in the winter like a dahlia plant and then comes back to life in the spring? I'm guessing not. There's flies all over the place, Mr. Duncan, today.
Yes, it's summer and we're in England.
Shall I show you something that I have purchased?
Oh, are you going to show something you've purchased?
Something that I've bought recently.
I always get worried.
From a farm shop, which I hope, because we get cattle, and regular viewers will know that we've already had some cows,
Yes.
some cattle in the field at the back of me
Yes,
here.
I showed a lovely video clip yesterday. We were fussing the cows. They came over to the fence, and yes, I showed a little video clip of us fussing the cows yesterday. And yes, I showed that on today's live stream.
They're very lovely, of course, but the cows bring with them flies, some unwanted visitors that in the summer you've got the windows open and they come into the house and land on your food, and Mr. Duncan has to go around killing them. Okay,
Steve.
So I've bought something which I hope will control them. So here we go. Do you want me to show you, Mr. Duncan?
Yep.
I have bought a fly trap. There we go. Can you see that there?
It's all on the screen. Yes, we can see you perfectly.
It's a fly trap, so it attracts the flies using a bait that goes in here.
Okay.
And you hang it from a tree somewhere, and all the flies fly in there and they get trapped. They can't get out and they drown in the liquid.
Can I just say, so what you're trying to do there is catch every fly that exists.
This is designed actually for farmyards where they
Okay.
have a real fly problem, but we're effectively near a farmyard.
Yes.
So I'm going to hang it in a tree.
Okay.
I've got to put it together, and I'm hoping it will control the fly problem that we have because of the cattle at the back of us. Sounds cruel. Apparently it will, according to their blurb on the front,
Yeah.
their blurb, it will catch up to 20,000 flies. Well, I hope we don't have that many, Mr. Duncan.
So instead of catching the flies in the house, what you're doing is catching the flies in the wild.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is I'll put the fly trap between here and the house,
That's just horrible.
in the hope that when they're flying towards the house, they smell something in the air and they turn round and go back and go into here, and then die,
Okay.
and they don't come into the house.
Yes, I'm so glad that you decided to show us this today. The way that you're going to rather cruelly kill flies on a very large scale.
Well, shall I tell the viewers how you kill the flies that
No.
get into our house?
No, but sometimes I do have to kill them because they won't go out. But last night, if you remember last night, there was a large fly in the bathroom. And what did I do? I opened the window and I guided the fly out of the bathroom. It flew out. It took me a long time, but the first time I got the fly to go out, and then it flew straight back in. It came straight back in again. So I had to do the same thing for a second time to get this fly to leave the bathroom. So that's what I did.
Anna Pika says it's cruel to trap the flies. Well, it is a bit, but it is just a fly. And there are sort of billions of them out there.
There are.
And we don't really want them flying into the house,
Yes.
landing on food and giving us food poisoning, because they will have been landing on the heaps of dung
Yes.
that the cows leave all over the ground.
Cow poop.
In fact, they'll be hatching out from the cow pats, won't they?
Yes.
So
we're talking about cow poop, basically.
that we don't want them coming into the house and landing on bread or something like that, because you can just turn your head for a minute. You're preparing food, putting the food out onto a plate, and you just turn around for a few seconds and a fly will land in it. And I don't want to give Mr. Duncan food poisoning.
Not again.
So unfortunately, we're going to have to control the fly population. I'm going to try it. I hope it doesn't actually attract more flies towards us.
Yes.
I hope it doesn't actually attract flies from all over the place.
Because it sounds to me like if it's something that will attract the flies, then more flies will come, surely. And some of them might not find their way towards the bait. So we might end up with 20 million flies in the house. Maybe our walls will just be covered in flies.
Tias says there's a fly catcher that's... Yes, I know the one you mean. It sort of has a blue light, and you often see them in shops, in food shops, and the flies are attracted to the blue light, and then they die on the... They crackle, don't they? I was thinking of getting one of those for the kitchen. If this doesn't work, I will do that, because... Well, I'm hoping as well it will attract the thrips as well. Those tiny little thrips or thunderbugs that we get plague of in the summer here.
Normally August.
Yes. So yes, it's cruel, but I'm afraid it's humans first.
Well, you're not going to heaven, Steve.
Remember, Sergio, I remember the film The Fly.
Oh.
Yes. Well, yes, I've just got to remember that when there are flies around, not to get into a transporter device at the same time.
That's true.
Otherwise, I might end up with a fly head and a human body. What about... It's strange that that film. I wonder why you don't have a human head but a fly body. I would have thought that would have been an easier film to make, probably.
You obviously didn't see the original.
What happened in the original?
The original, he did have a fly head.
No, I meant the other way round. He has a human head but a fly body.
Okay.
Because I think in the films they have a fly head and a human body.
Yes.
Why isn't it the
I
other
think
way
it's a bit of
round?
both, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
I can't. I'm guessing that you're not very well researched on this film. I just have a feeling. Who was the star?
Bela Lugosi?
No, it was actually Jeff Goldblum. But there you go.
I was thinking of the one that was made a long time ago.
Oh, I see. I don't think it was Bela Lugosi somehow.
Yes. Oh, well, yes. Yes,
Yes.
TS.
Yes.
There is a flycatcher in the shape of a racket with electricity on it. Yes, we've got one of those.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't find it that effective because
Well, you have to catch them.
you've still got to get the fly to come into contact with the racket.
Yeah.
So
It's like playing tennis in your kitchen. You end up smashing everything around you.
they're not very effective.
You're just swiping this huge tennis racket, this electrified tennis racket around your kitchen, and then most of the plates and most of the cups are broken because you keep swinging it around. It's It's like trying to play tennis in your kitchen.
Yeah, so I'm going to try this flycatcher, and then I'm going to have, I think the next step is to get one of those ultraviolet, those blue lights that electrocute the flies.
Oh, that's much better.
Yes, so that's what I'm going to do.
Apparently today there is a special anniversary. I think Mika, I'm sure I saw something earlier when we had a little break.
Yes.
I was going back through the live chat and I noticed, Mika, you said there is an anniversary. What is your anniversary? Can you tell us what it is? Because I'm not sure. I saw something about an anniversary, but what is it?
Is it your birthday? Yes, I think somebody said earlier it's Mika's birthday.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Is that true? Tell us, Mika.
So,
is it your birthday?
Is it your birthday, or maybe some sort of anniversary? Maybe. We just have to wait for a minute now for the answer because of the time delay on the stream.
Have you any more words, Mr. Duncan?
I've got words galore. Words galore. If something doesn't work anymore, we can say that it is out of order. Something that is out of order is no longer working. Maybe it is waiting to be repaired. So something that is out of order is not working at the moment. Quite often you might see a ticket machine in a railway station. You might see that it's not working, and there might be a sign on the front like this that says out of order. It is not working. So a piece of machinery, something that is supposed to serve a purpose or have a function, however at the moment it's not working, it is out of order. Out of order.
Yes, you often see that maybe on a toilet.
Yes.
A public toilet that's not working. You would very often see that sign in the UK, out of order, not working, but will be working again very soon.
It is not working correctly, it is broken, but it is waiting for repair. It is going to be fixed. It is going to be repaired. I like it.
But you can also use that expression, Mr. Duncan, to describe someone's behaviour. If someone is behaving in an unreasonable way, maybe they're swearing, maybe they've done something that you don't like, you could say to them that, you're out of order there. You're out of order.
You're doing something that is unacceptable.
Yes, you've said something that's unacceptable, or you're upsetting somebody. You're upsetting people in present company, maybe, and you're trying to stop them from talking about whatever it is they're talking about. Stop swearing. You're out of order. No, stop talking like that. You're out of order.
Yes.
In other words, what you're saying is really quite unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
Yes.
The other day, Steve, we had a little treat, didn't we? Remember a couple of weeks ago you made some scones.
Scones,
remember?
You mean scones?
Yes, do you remember?
I do.
Okay. Well, the next day we actually went into the garden and we did actually try some of Mr. Steve's scones. However, we didn't show the video. So here it is very quickly. This is Steve and myself enjoying our scones the other day. And there you can see we have our cups of tea. Mr. Steve's is on the left and mine is on the right. And there, oh, look at that, Mr. Steve's delicious scones covered with butter and jam. And they were very nice actually, Steve, weren't they?
Yes, well, finally, I noticed yesterday for the first time in 8 weeks, I went into the local shop and they had some flour for sale, because one of the many items that has been in short supply since the lockdown, and people have been panic buying. First of all, it was toilet paper, and then it was flour, but flour is now slowly returning to the shelves. Maybe you've had a shortage of certain items in your country because people have been panic buying. I think people haven't been panic buying flour. I think it's just because they've been at home. Everyone's been doing a lot more baking. And so you can't get very much flour at the moment in the shops. But I managed to buy a new bag yesterday because I made those scones with flour that was 2 years out of date that I found in the cupboard. And it did taste a little... tasted like the flour had gone off a bit. But not too bad. So I've got some new flour and I shall make some new scones this week, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I will do. And maybe we can show those as well.
Whilst we're talking about cooking, Steve made something last night and he got a little bit carried away with the ingredients. Steve made chili con carne last night. Very nice. You have lots of mince, I think it's minced lamb, and then vegetables. You can put stock cubes, so it's all a mixture. And also beans as well, large beans.
Kidney beans.
Kidney beans.
Red kidney beans.
They look like kidneys. That's why we call them kidney beans.
That's it, and it's a spicy meal.
Yes.
That's why it's called chili con carne or chili con carne. Some people pronounce it.
However, Mr. Steve got a little bit carried away, didn't you, with the chili powder?
Well, the recipe that I had said put a tablespoon of chili powder in. Well, instantly I thought, that's too much. I've never heard of a recipe saying a tablespoon of chili powder, so I put in 1 little teaspoon, but that was, let's just say, it blew Mr. Duncan's socks off.
Oh.
If you eat hot, spicy food in this country, and it's too hot for you to eat, people will often say that food will blow your socks off.
Yeah.
It's so hot and spicy. Mr. Duncan was choking a bit, but he soon got used to it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the food has passed through you now, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, it certainly is. If it was hot going in, trust me, it was unbearable going out. It was really unpleasant.
Well, we don't really have very much spicy food in this country unless you go out for a curry, which is very popular. But certainly when I was growing up, spicy food is very rare in the UK. In fact, quite often people from European countries or other countries will describe British food as bland.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have much spice in it. Well, Mr. Duncan certainly knew that I put chili in last night's meal.
You did? You definitely put... There was definitely chili because it was burning my mouth out. It was burning my throat. It burnt my stomach. And then this morning...
Well, we won't give any more details, but we'll
No.
leave that to your viewers' imagination.
We're going soon, by the way.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we haven't got time. Ooh, it's so windy suddenly. It's very windy. If you hear some strange noises, it's just my gazebo blowing away. So we will be going. However, we don't have any time for the sentence game. However, don't forget, I am, of course, back on Wednesday. Wednesday, 2 p.m. I will be with you from 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Have I said 2 p.m. too many times there? 2 p.m. UK time on Wednesday, and then we will have the sentence game. Unfortunately, we are almost out of time today.
That's my fault.
Well, it's not your fault. It's just that I had a lot of things really to do today. A lot of stuff to do. But Mr. Steve, yes, we'll have another look at Mr. Steve's grass before we go. Look at that. The grass.
Can you see it growing, Mr. Duncan?
Sometimes if you are watching something very boring, you might say, "Oh, it's so boring. It's like watching grass grow." Well, here we are now, literally watching grass grow. So if you've ever wondered why my lessons are so boring, then now you know why, because we are now literally looking at grass.
TS makes a good point
Grass growing.
about the word flower
Okay.
getting mixed up with the flower in the garden
Ah,
and the flour that you use for baking cakes with.
yes.
One way round that, I would suggest, Tias, is that you pronounce the word flour for cooking as flour. Flour. You can pronounce it like that. Instead of saying flour,
Flower.
flower, a flower in the garden,
Flower.
but you don't pronounce it quite the same way. It's flour. Flour. You don't pronounce the W so much when you're talking about baking cakes, do you? Is that right, Mr. Duncan? You say it.
Well, to be honest with you, if I was going to make some cakes, I would definitely need some flour. So I actually pronounce it in exactly the same way as the plant.
But if you're posh, you would say, "Oh, I'm going to bake some cakes with some flour." Flour.
Yeah.
Maybe drop the W a little.
I have a feeling they might be homophones.
But they are essentially pronounced the same, but
Yes.
you can subtly change the pronunciation and take the emphasis off the W when you're talking about flour for baking.
The only real difference is the spelling. Flower in the garden, Flower. Flour that you bake with, Flour.
Flour.
But
Flour.
basically, I don't know why you keep saying it. No one says flour.
Flour.
Flour. That's not even a word.
Flour. Flour.
Flour.
There's a flower in the garden.
Yes.
I'm going to bake some cakes with some flour.
Yes.
Maybe.
Don't say.
Maybe.
Maybe your mother says that. But
You
then-
know, people of high breeding, such as myself, may often pronounce the word in that way.
I thought you were going to say inbreeding.
Probably nearer the truth, Mr. Duncan.
What a way to end the show.
What a way to end the show. I'm going to do what I always do on a Sunday after this show, which is make a cup of tea and put a couple of tea cakes in the toaster.
Apparently, it is Mika's birthday.
It is!
Yes.
Well, you know what that means, or can we say it or not? Can we actually sing the song? Are we allowed?
we can't sing the song, unfortunately. However, I do have my own song that is copyrighted to me. And it's Mika. It's your birthday. Yes, today. It's your birthday. Hip, hip, hooray!
Happy birthday, Mika. 21 today.
Yes.
We won't ask her age. It's impolite to ask a lady her age.
I'm sorry for not noticing your birthday earlier.
What a lovely way to end the show, Mr. Duncan.
Yes,
And
something positive. We've had a lot of things today. We've had unusual words. We've had things that are broken. We've had Mr. Steve talking about how he is going to slaughter thousands and thousands of houseflies. We've had some lovely cows saying hello. We've had our neighbour with their noisy lawnmower. We've had a look at Mr. Steve's grass. We've had a look at Mr. Steve's dahlia. We've had a look at Mr. Steve's scones. And we've also had a look at Mr. Steve's beautiful face.
that, of course, is the highlight of the show.
I think so. We're going now. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us.
Shall I go first?
You may.
Well, goodbye to everybody. Have a lovely week. Learn English and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. Steve. See you later. He has left the building. Mr. Steve has left the garden. Excuse me. My throat is now playing up. I'm sorry about that. Fortunately, it is time to go. Mr. Steve is going into the kitchen to make a tea cake. He is going to toast the tea cake and make a delicious cup of tea. I will see you on Wednesday, 2 p.m. UK time. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. We've been in the garden. I hope I will be in the garden on Wednesday as well. We will be playing the sentence game on Wednesday. I'm sorry about not having it today, but we are completely out of time. It is time to say goodbye. Thank you for your company. Thanks for your participation. I've enjoyed looking at your messages. I've enjoyed reading your messages today. Thank you very much. Don't forget, if you want to give me a little like, please give me a little thumbs up like that. You see? You can give me a thumbs up to show that you like my live streams, and also you can subscribe as well. That is almost it. Almost time to say goodbye. It is almost time to bid you farewell. Thank you very much, Anna, Belarusia, Lil, Nishtar, or Nishtar. Thank you, Antonio, Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve. I used to watch offline your live streams because in this time I am working. I'm working at home now. I am Antonio Robson from Brazil. Say hello. Thank you, Antonio. And it's nice to see you back with us on the live stream. I hope you are doing well there in Brazil. That's it. We have time for nothing else. It is time to say goodbye. Thanks a lot. See you Wednesday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language saying thanks for watching. See you on Wednesday. There will be captions later on for this live stream. You might have to wait for maybe 2 or 3 hours, but there will be captions coming later on. And I will be back with you on Wednesday, 2 p.m. UK time. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, this is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you later. Take care, stay safe, and of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now.